Hi, my name is Ida Latifa. I recently graduated from master program in innovation management and entrepreneurship, class of 2020. Um, During my course in innovation management, I was very into making my own business and doing entrepreneurship journey. And before I came to the UK, I was very involved in art and music industry back in my home country in Indonesia. And it was kind of the starting point of me and my another founder to build Fair for Artists. You can introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Arnold. I'm a software engineer and a musician, and kind of into a lot of the tech things we were kind of considering putting into all of this. And it was kind of the frustrations I had trying to constantly do all the music side of things in my life and piece them all together and learn how they worked, which was kind of what helped us start forming the idea in the first place.
The starting point of having the idea to build a Fair for Artists, it was because we thought that musicians are struggling to receive their fair share of funds from online activities, as all the major sites they take a significant amount of the commissions, and it's become even more difficult when the artist wants to market their music or their other their music for overseas. They're also unlikely to have a large amount of capital to create or pay for the system to enable them to maintain a significant online presence. And also because we built this Fair for Artists last year during the pandemic, due to the pandemic itself and the closure of many venues, artists are struggling to make a living online, and we think that our model is both fairer and shares more with the artist. The biggest challenge for us when we built Fair for Artists, the first one, it was more on our self-doubt. We think that we thought that our idea wasn't good enough and wasn't uh, prepared enough for these competitions. And the second one, it was more for our time management, because both of us currently are working full time. It's very hard for us to manage our time when to build or like starting to develop Fair for Artists and working with our own work. How about you?
Yeah, it was quite an ambitious kind of so many different features in one. It's not something you can kind of build
overnight.
Yeah, especially when you're working full time and you're trying to do it on an evening or a weekend. In terms of the next steps, for us, obviously, with how many things we wanted to do, is a realization that there are a lot of these different things exist, and it's partnering with other services, pulling them in at the beginning, or building the most important things and kind of focusing on that, and kind of just integrate with other third parties is great. But in terms of actually what the kind of ideas we've had about what to do next and what we think is some good ideas, is like, especially with the whole blockchain side of this and NFTs being massive at the moment and just almost a craze for it. There's this really like opportunity for bands to kind of create collectibles, create things they can engage the fans with. Like, it's like giving out people at the moment, like a JPEG of a penguin will go for $10,000. Like, it's this great market for bands where they could have these collectibles, and they could even crowdfund on there. Maybe they could even make it so if you own some of these, you get a revenue share for a song that you've contributed to help them make. There's just like loads and loads of different opportunities with it. And if we could kind of leverage that somehow and help bands that have less technical ability to make them themselves have a way into it, that could be a really good idea.
We are so grateful for receiving the funds from Nexander Kickstarter award. Initially, we were so doubtful about our ideas. It may be not good enough to put in the competition in the beginning. However, during the application process, the people behind it were super helpful. They're like our mentor during the application. We also had so many workshops, and it's like one-on-one session also with the staff that I personally could gain so much knowledge on making our application better, and also we could focus on what's the most important thing for our future customer, and we could also kind of better making our value for the product to be better for the customers. I've got like a couple tips for the Kickstarter applicant. The first one, to start early, write down your idea in the application and talk to MEC staff. They will provide you with one-on-one surface, and you could talk about your ideas and to make your application looks better. They would be very happy to help you to work on your application as well. The second one, do extensive market research. For me, market research is not only about seeing the current trends or the prediction for the future, but it's also you need to talk with your potential customers to gain more details about their problems, as well as how to solve their problems.
I think the main one you said is just, using the, like when you apply for it, they were so helpful to us, and it kind of, our idea was shaped a lot by just conversations we had. And just because you think your idea, if you've got the starting of an idea, sometimes it can be greater than you think it is, and it's adding that little bit of extra kind of uniqueness to it that kind of just gives it that extra edge.